that could be exactly my problem. Okay. Let me see here. I was going to show some other stuff off before doing my rounds back. One thing I was mentioning about... Really? Really? Do I have to do this with an empty hand? Or just with something that doesn't have any function like that? Yeah, I'm gonna move over here and like throw my seeds into this area, so that I don't have to deal with that problem. Okay. I was going to show that I have talents. I accessed Mage Posse and Mage Posse 2 because I got a few Infinity Orbs worth to help, but I haven't seen them show up yet. I don't know if I have to be a certain level or what, but I'm supposed to get some light mages to help me out, but they're not showing up. I don't know if it's like a config thing that I need to make sure that I have access to or what, but that was going to be one of my big things, other than maybe speeding up my mana regen like crazy, which I'll need another green and red point to get maxed out again, which is okay, but it happens. So some of these other talents are okie dokie, but we'll get to that later. See, utility, let me see, what did I learn? I learned disarm. I haven't made a spell with it yet, but it allows me to grab stuff off my enemies, which is very nice to de-equip them. Nothing from here. Offensively, did I learn anything? No, I don't remember learning anything from here. Okay, so that's the extent of what happened with that stuff in between. Okay. I had some mixed luck trying to make a third book. Didn't work out. It was weird and got corrupted somehow and had to go. Still not sure what happened with that exactly, but it was a beautiful attempt. It just didn't succeed, so I'm going to try something else another time and see if that works. But the big thing is going back to Mystery World 1 here, which seems to always be raining. I'm not sure if that's... It's not raining here, though. Is this the... it says jungle here. Yeah, this world type is a little weird. Taiga. I'm not seeing snow. This has a very... this has like an incredibly... fine distribution of biomes I'm getting. But the world type is obviously not... Maybe... Oh, wait, here's snow. Uh-huh. This has got like a small... Because this one was mostly random stuff, so... I could put some blocks in some of these areas and see if I can get some creatures to show up with the right types. This world I had before may be more useful than I first thought. I think what really threw me off was this world type is like some sort of oceanic / island world. So I think what's happening... Yeah, it's got like this tiny biome distribution, but the world type is what threw me off. But with jungle types, I might be able to get cats. That would be really useful if I could get cats. Because... And maybe I could do something about this water. Like, get some blocks near it so they could start freezing stuff, because it's clearly cold. Like, this is, like, definitely, like, super, super cold. I don't have blocks right now for it, and I've been saving up most of my stone for doing this. But yeah. I had to make a lot more of these blood runes. Like, about 20? That took some time. And, to get the tier up higher, well, actually lower, because I moved this whole thing. Remember, it was back way up there and it up in the sky. That's not how I'm handling it here. I moved it into this little world because I could keep it separate from other things. I could have more build space. It just seemed like more of a thing to do. Although I did take a little bit of Twilight Forest back with me, and yes, it's definitely storming over there. That's definitely what's going on. This would be more useful for witchery-related stuff, but it's not happening right now. I need to get more witchery. I definitely need to get back to that. But yeah, this is a particular block, Twilight Forest. It's a kind of maze stone, and I don't need it for the build per se. This can be like any kind of solid block for this tier, but they do need to be capped with glowstone. I've emptied out my altar. Really? Random hit with lightning on top of me. Oh my gosh, that's never happened to me before. I've gotten close, but never actually struck. Well, there's my sign that it's time to go on to witching instead pretty soon, because this place is going to be so stormy. Like, just nothing but weather. For most of the time, then I'm going to have to counter that with actually using it even more, because I'm already going to use it for my blood altar setup here. I already have. I've already gotten a couple of new tiers of orbs as well. And each time you get a tier up in your blood orb, it allows you to contain more life essence into your network, your soul network. Like right now, I've drained the last of it, so I have 4,560 points, which is nice. And again, the better the one that you have bound to you, the better the network can be. Getting my second tier was basically an emerald in about 5,000 points. Once I hit with tier 2, getting this, my magician's blood orb, my tier 3 orb took a block of gold. And, oh, I really should get out of here. And I had to fill it pretty much all the way, and then keep sacrificing energy to it repetitively while it was still transmuting, and using a whole boatload of my miniature yellow hearts. I think I'm still going to use this particular world to do more blood magic in, but if the weather's going to be like truly eternal, and I've noticed that world does seem to have a weather problem, I'll probably use it more for witching than thaumaturgy. I was thinking of using like another world for thaumaturgy, but I may need to see if I got symbols for it. Do I have Eternal Day? Day. Oh, I don't have anything related to day. I'll need to raid more libraries in between episodes. It's something I need to do, because there's like one that's for Eternal Day. I think there's one for Eternal Night. No, it's Night Sky Color. What else do I have? Eternal Weather. Yeah, that's what that one has, but remember that was mostly random, so that's just a property it can have, and that seems to be the case. So a lot of my work in that may be off camera just because of the number of times I'll be struck with lightning. But then again, I may use it for witchery. In fact, the fact that it has jungle in there might make it even better for witchery than I was first thinking. Because that way I could get a cat familiar again. Oh my goodness. I just thought of something. Is your familiar's name based on your player ID or player name? Because if so, I might have Crookshanks again. That would be awesome. Oh, that takes me back. I could make it like an ether biome thing, but I don't think so. There's a lot of this stuff I'm gonna have to put together. I was gonna do plan out a thaumaturgy version. I'm gonna try doing tiled biomes, like I was attempting to before. So I'm gonna make it where it's magical forest and mushroom biome. And that should be pretty well defended against taint, because all those magical forests should make a lot of silverwood trees, which I know I've got a good chunk of right now in terms of stuff, but hey, it would be nice. I could do thaumaturgy here, but I'm thinking more like special age for it. Yeah, I'm thinking doing a special age for it, so that's what I'm probably gonna do. Wrong button. I didn't really mean to do that quite yet. Yeah, okay. But yeah, here's my thing, and why I'm really trying to plan a good place for thaumaturgy, and this should show up pretty well in here. A lot of really good stuff is gated behind forbidden magic, and I'm not somebody who normally likes dealing with warp, because it can be very inconvenient to have warp effects hit you sometimes. Now, they do calm down after you've had that exact level of warp for a while, but it can take some time. So what I was thinking of doing was actually kind of ironically going all out, and doing lots of it, because there's a particular mod that we have in here called Warp Theory. And this is something they included in the pack. But one of the things you can do is you can use this arcane litmus paper to determine how warped you are. But that's just one of the features of warp theory. This one's nice to figure that out, but if I can get into some other parts of it, there'll be something open up in one of these sections. I'm not sure exactly where, because it's kind of a miscellaneous add-on. It's not really confined to its own tab, but I'm figuring it'll probably be under Artifice and Alchemy, because that's kind of its theme. But there's something I can get if I get warped enough that will allow me to banish the warp I've already got. I've tested it out with, in a world before. It actually kind of creates disasters the more warp you have, so it's bad to actually do the event to purge yourself, but then you can also get in like a special amulet that'll protect you from further warp. Now, I'll need to get really, really warped for a while to open up a very special tab in base Thaumcraft, and that's the Eldritch tab. So my plan is to get as warped as possible, do an absolute rush of research, and after I've opened the tab with the amount of warp I've got, and gotten the stuff from warp theory to help purge it, I'll probably blow it back off and be able to do things. Now, some of the crazy stuff that might happen while I'm purging warp, I might show on screen because it gets absolutely crazy, and may actually, in fact, help me with doing that whole like a quest or two, because one of the events can actually replace terrain, so it's really dangerous, and you also have more warp events added as long as you have warp theory, and these can occur regardless of whether or not you're purging or not. But when you purge, you get a guaranteed high power warp event for every point that you're purging. And this is mostly unseen, and why I need the arcane litmus paper. Is because it'll show me just how bad off I really am. So I'm going to have to do some other base thaumaturgy to build up to it, because the arcane litmus paper requires Salus Mundus. This isn't really that hard to deal with, because whenever you get Salus Mundus, you basically have like a simple crucible recipe. Or semi-simple. It has this weird balance, and the way to make it more balanced is basically you need to do the automated alchemy. And automated alchemy requires why I needed all that silverwood. Because to get it fully automated, well, not this section. Let me go over here. Automated alchemy. Yeah. The thing is, I'll need to get these alchemical constructs, and they required silverwood. Now, whenever you have this set up, you can draw off energy that you've extracted from things, like all the aspects, and it'll very precisely put them together to... it's not showing it entirely here. It'll be better whenever I actually have that thumbed up. But anyhow, what'll happen is it'll be able to add precisely together, and you won't have flux being thrown off all over the place, which is bad, and is why I was hoping to get an area to perform alchemy. Is the more flux you throw into the atmosphere from unused things in your crucible, the more close you get to taint. The more close you get to taint, the more close you get to a world-destroying spread of destruction. So, therefore, you don't want that. So I need to rush as much as possible to just get this absolute wild surge of research done. And for that, I also want a perfect world to use as a place to thauma stuff up. So I'm going to make myself a special book again and see if it works. Wait a moment, there was something else I needed to know if I had in here. I think it was under the word normal, because amplified normal, normal lightning, normal lighting, sorry, normal moon, normal stars, normal sun, amplified normal world. I think I need, or maybe it's under standard. Standard world, okay. The thing is, that means that that does like the base way the world manifests. Like that world that you saw me in before, it was a water world. It wasn't a standard world. Or it was like an island world or something. So because it wasn't exactly standard, Let me see what types are. Void world, standard world, flat world, amplified normal. You see, these are different world types. Now combine that with how I got my biomes together, and then it'll determine how the world looks. So if I'm using Mystcraft to make this world that I'm going to use for my perfect thaumaturgy world, I'm going to have to be very careful how I do it, because the world that got kind of crushed, that I was mentioning before, that I was going to have over there, it looked really wild because it was kind of like a water world, because I left a few things open, and I didn't put in a world modifier. I did, however, have biomes distribution set up for tiled, so that part worked, but then the world wasn't able to manifest it because it didn't have the description of how it was supposed to work with relationship to those. So I had a little bit of an issue with that. Something happened. I wound up stuck in that world at the exact time that I saved. Nor I wouldn't like stuck, but I somehow saved and quit in it. And then whenever I came back, it got corrupted. So be careful of saving in Mystcraft worlds, because apparently that's a problem. So I'm going to try to avoid that more in the future. For now, I'm going to head off while maybe, just maybe, seeing if I can plant myself a tree. Because it might be a nice idea to help the place out with a little bit more treeage. I mean, it's a great place to do any kind of forest. So why not? Why not help out the Twilight Forest with a magical tree? I hope that'll be a good position for it. But yeah, that should be fine. I can be able to head off after putting a few things down. And then I should be ready to go between, try to figure out other things to actually do in between. I should be able to do a little bit of just repositioning my items after that huge rush. But not the biggest rush I've had, but still, it's one of those things where you kind of got to have a little recovery time, because I got so much loot that even while putting some stuff up, I still have a very loaded inventory. And some of it should go to thaumaturgy. So I need to put some of this in my wizard tower and stuff, and I need to see if there's if I can get my record set up, and I need to prepare to set up that new world. It just all sorts. And by the way, while I was in that other world that got crushed, I did find a library, and it has some of these collation folders. It does make me wonder if one of these would have one of the things that I need. I'll sort through those more later in between episodes, because I can get all of their symbols into one symbol portfolio. This seems to be like a bottomless pit. You can always put more into this thing, and that is amazing, because it acts as the absolute repository for all of your symbols in a single space. So that is very cool. I definitely like that feature. I think I'm going to go out with a drink. So, have some milk. Okay. For now, this has been Glitch Reaper, and I'm going to be signing off for now, because I still have a lot of work to do. This mod pack is huge. At the same time, I'm liking that, and I think I'm going to be going more into thaumaturgy and stuff. I know I've done some blood magic, which is one of the things that the quest was originally going to show you to do, but again, progress has been a little glitchy with that in this exact version of the pack, so yeah. And I'll also be showing some other things, like I'll probably be going to other things that interact with thaumaturgy and more, because it's something I haven't really pushed as far as I could have before, but I'm kind of feeling it this round. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to be going for that. Now that I have enough silverwood, I'm definitely going to make more stuff happen. I'm also going to show off a really cool location in the Twilight Forest that I found at some point, and that has to do with Botania, which also has some cross-mod content with Thaumcraft. And it'll help me, if I don't have enough other things to work with it, it'll help me with my infusion, because it definitely has some alternatives to stabilize it. And that would be very nice, because some of the things I'm going to need to do with my research is really, really risky. And if I don't have it very stable, it's going to blow up in my face. And I do mean that literally, so yeah. Anyhow, this has been Glitch Reaper, and I'll be signing off for now. Hope to hear from you all later. So bye for now, and bottoms up. Milk. It really does do a body good. Bye for now, everybody.